Hey there YouTube lovers, my name is BB8 and welcome to BB8's Q&A episode 2. I probably bet a lot of people are wondering why I'd even call it that if all I'm answering here is rhetorical questions. So, the BB8 powered by BB8’s channel has gone to a solid start so far, with the first video making it to 100 views. So I thought I would do a follow-up to a video I just did 2 weeks ago, but this time I'd answer only one question, but unlike the previous episode, I have a lot to talk about when it comes to this question I'm about to ask. So, as a one-off from the previous episode, I was just focusing on 3 different questions. Here, I'm focusing on one major question. I've brainstormed a lot of ideas for this series of videos I'm doing. Like, it's not the podcast series I am thinking about making, but at least with BB8's Q&A, you'll get to know me better and what I'm like outside of gaming, since gaming is my primary focus on the BB8’s channel, and I thought if you got to know me better, I thought I'd start a personal channel known as BB8 powered by BB8’s, and then I'd upload videos on it, and you'll get to know me more through these videos. And for the second question I'm about to ask is why I'm not on TikTok. I probably bet a lot of people have been curious to this, because yet again, I have promoted on every single video that I've done on the BB8’s channel. If you do look in the description, it does say, do not ask me to join TikTok. And I thought it would fit well for an episode that I talked about why I'm not on TikTok, why I hate TikTok, and why I'm against the whole idea of TikTok as a whole. So I thought, with the experiences I've had with TikTok over lockdown, I thought I knew I had to talk about it, like, literally. I thought, and with this video, you will finally get the answer to where my despise for TikTok came from. So, like last time, I'm going to split the video into 3 different sections. I'm not saying what exactly the sections are, because I don't want to make the video too predictable, but I am going to cover each individual section one by one as the video goes on. So, to start off with the video, I thought I would talk about how TikTok can have like an impact on your mental health as well, because I bet a lot of people had no idea about this, but I have looked through tons of articles, like, since I've had a feeling that TikTok was impacting my mental health as well. So I thought, I did have that in my head for quite a bit. So I did do a bit of looking into when it came to TikTok and mental health, and I did do my research, and TikTok is practically bad for your mental health. And yet again, I actually do agree that it's just, unlike most people, I care about my mental health a lot. Because, you know, like, it's one of my top priorities, if you come to think about it. But what does TikTok have to do with mental health exactly? Well, TikTok has been used as a platform because there has been multiple causes for your mental health, like being on the app for too long, bullying, and of course, exposure to content that children shouldn't be seeing. So for the bullying side of things, I'm not a victim of cyberbullying myself when it comes to TikTok. So, because I'm not on TikTok at all, so I have been aware that TikTok nowadays is like the hotspot for cyberbullying. And really, when it comes to cyberbullying, I can't tolerate any of that. Like, literally. Since TikTok is the hotspot for cyberbullying nowadays, 10 years ago it would have been Facebook, but now it has transferred into TikTok. But how is TikTok used for cyberbullying, to be exact? Because, yet again, if a bully made a video bullying someone and then ended up uploading that onto their TikTok account, sharing that video to people at the school, and that ended up like going viral and stuff, and it can really impact the mental health of the victim. And when it comes to stuff like cyberbullying, I feel like this is more common in people with ADHD and autism. Because, yet again, apart from TikTok, I'm all over the internet. So, I know that I have heard that a lot of horrible jokes have been made about ADHD and autism across the internet, like, literally. And I am not really tolerant to that, because I do know lots of people with ADHD and autism, and that's why I don't really get involved in culture of being horrible to people with mental disabilities. So, with cyberbullying out of the way, now I'm going to discuss being on the app for too long. Because, yet again, I feel like being on TikTok for too long, because it can really, like, affect your brain, and I feel like that it's become, like, I feel like the people a part of Generation Alpha, born between 2010 and 2024, which hasn't happened yet, I feel like are the more common users for TikTok. So I thought, yet again, the people I hear use TikTok most are within that age group. So I thought, yet again, I feel like with children and teenagers being on TikTok for too long, it can actually be a bad influence to their mindsets. Because yet again, the app may appear harmless and may have harmless videos on it, but the algorithm on TikTok is unpredictable. Like, because yet again, the app like promotes like random videos that may not be relevant to some people, even children. And I feel like children being exposed to stuff like music with explicit lyrics, body parts like they shouldn't be seeing, and stuff like depression, suicide, self-harm. I feel like stuff like that is being exposed to children and teenagers may cause a bad influence to them. And when you come to think about it, even though I'm not on TikTok myself, I am aware that all of this stuff is happening. And since when it comes to mental health, when TikTok comes to like promote suicide, that's the problem with TikTok when it comes to mental health. And yet again, it is a bad influence on children for that reason. So the second section of the video is actually about influences. Because yet again, like I've just said, TikTok doesn't have a good influence on children. Like, yet again, because there have been cases of media not having a good influence on children. A prime example of that was an animated movie that came out last year. I probably bet a lot of people would know this film, but Disney and Pixar's Turning Red has not really had the best influence on children. Because, yet again, the main character in the film, Mei Lin, disobeys her mother a lot in the film, which can actually cause children to disobey their parents. And the themes within the film, I feel like, are too mature for children to even be watching. And that's why I didn't really like Turning Red as much, because of the themes the film explored that I feel like were too inappropriate for children. And yet again, it can teach children disobedience, which is teaching children to disobey their parents. But with Turning Red out of the way, how is TikTok being a bad influence to children? Because yet again, TikTok does teach children to participate in dangerous social media challenges. And any form of dangerous challenge that does make its way to social media, like people harming themselves, can actually teach children to do that, exactly that. And since I have seen loads of dangerous challenges make their way onto the platform, I just feel like it's not really, I'm not really tolerant to that. And yet again, YouTube in 2014 literally did have a problem like this. Because yet again, back in 2014, TikTok did not exist at all. And this was before COPPA, a system that YouTube brought in to their platform a few years ago, was actually brought into the platform in order to protect children. 2014 didn't have any of that. Yet again, I was aged 10 at the time, and literally, because I was watching so many disturbing videos on YouTube at the time, until I had a YouTube channel of my own, I was actually banned from even using YouTube as a whole. But sometimes I would just quietly go on it without my parents knowing, and they weren't really tolerant to that. So how could we take YouTube from 2014 to TikTok now? Because yet again, I know a lot of people have been against the whole COPPA system that YouTube had brought in. Like, I know a lot of people have been against it, but there's a reason why COPPA was implemented into YouTube. And this was mainly for the safety of children. Because yet again, TikTok, to my knowledge, doesn't have a system like COPPA on YouTube. And that's probably the problem with TikTok promoting disturbing videos to children. And I feel like TikTok is bad for children because of those reasons. And now, for the final section of the video, being the culture of TikTok. Because yet again, TikTok does have a toxic user base. Because yet again, there have been cases throughout in like 2020. I feel like since TikTok became a major downside of my life back in like 2020, when my little sister started using it. I think that was in the lockdown and stuff, and I feel like some of the clips from TikTok related to mental health have been driving me crazy. Like, literally, I feel like when a clip gets a bit too repetitive, it kind of drives me insane. And there have been cases of TikTok ruining some of the major aspects of my childhood. Because, yet again, ruining your favorite songs with TikTok, the prime example of that, of recently, being the song Video Killed the Radio Star, a classic, that is, of a song. And unfortunately, since I don't use TikTok myself, I had heard that a remixed version our video killed the radio star did actually slip onto TikTok. And yet again, I feel like the culture of TikTok is a bit toxic, and it is primarily the reason I don't pay attention to the charts anymore. Because, yet again, the songs that appear on the charts nowadays are probably most likely from TikTok and not anywhere else. Because last time I paid attention to the charts was in June of 2021, when I left sixth form for college. Because, yet again, I've not listened to that many songs from the charts since I stopped paying attention to them. And a majority of them were crap, but really, and I just feel like TikTok has kind of driven me insane with some of these songs, but really, I just feel like the whole culture of TikTok is a bit toxic. Promoting people to dangerous social media challenges, dances that might make me feel cringe, since I know a lot of people don't really have the sense of cringe, but me, I actually have that sense of cringe in me, like, literally, because whenever I hear a song from TikTok, I do start to cringe a little bit, because I feel like I found it hard to escape, like, the app at all, because I always see people at college or in public use the app, and it kind of has been a problem for me, really. And yet again, I feel like TikTok, yet again, is a bad influence to society because of its culture, its cringy dances, and the fact that TikTok happens to ruin nostalgia for people. Even me. So, to conclude the video, the reason I'm not on TikTok is because I'm against cyberbullying, is because TikTok's not a good influence on children, because of the culture, and the fact that TikTok literally ruins nostalgia for me. So those are the 4 reasons I hate TikTok and I'm not on it. And yet again, you're probably wondering, BB8, you're on YouTube, and YouTube, in recent memory, have brought out a new system like TikTok onto their platform known as YouTube Shorts. So, and what was that about? And yet again, I don't really upload YouTube Shorts onto my channel, mainly because of my whole despise for TikTok. Because yet again, TikTok is more of Generation Alpha's thing, and I'm a part of Generation Z, born in between 1997 and 2009. So guys, what did you think of my video explaining why I'm not on TikTok and why I don't really like TikTok to begin with? I know this might be an insane reason to my despise, but in my opinion, I feel like TikTok is just a social media platform with a toxic user base. and really, I don't want to be a part of a social media platform that has a toxic user base. So if you guys wanted to know the reason why I'm not on TikTok, this is exactly why. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn your notification bell on so you don't miss another BB8 Q&A video like this one. So if you do have any questions you want to ask, if you want me to answer in a future episode, leave a comment below, because I might be able to answer that. And I will see you all in a future video. BB8 out.